Welcome to another edition of Winthrop Close Up. I'm Josh Cassio.
And I'm Venetia Cabo. Thanks for joining us. Winthrop campus is quickly expanding, which means parking is being pushed further and further away from campus. Today we look into the safety concerns students have with parking on the wrong side of the tracks. Robert Dew has more on the story.
2004 marks the opening of Winthrop University's Legion lots. However, these parking lots are located in an area where some students may feel unsafe. As Winthrop University expands westward, so does the parking, and that also increases a host of safety concerns for those who park further west. Car theft, as well as vandalism and even assault, are just some of the concerns some students have about parking in the former York County Fairgrounds.
It is a safety concern because, there aren't a lot of police people going around, off campus or, further away than the parking spots.
It's not the safest I've ever felt for parking, but, whenever I go anywhere with any girl or anyone really walking, all of us, we just kind of travel together.
Regular patrols, security cameras, as well as an emergency call box are just a few of the tools Winthrop police are using to keep students safe.
If there's a situation where, you're too afraid to walk back or it's real late at night and you need a ride, go to the call box out there and call us and we'll come over and get you.
Police also say that if students employ a little common sense, they can keep themselves and their friends from parking on the wrong side of the tracks. With photographer Tawala Williams, this is Rob Dew reporting.
A traffic accident at the intersection of Oakland Avenue and Eden Terrace has students keeping guard when crossing busy streets. John Swanson has more.
Early afternoon on September the 22nd, Winthrop Campus Police with local Rock Hill authorities worked together to clear a wreck at the intersection of Eden Terrace and Oakland Avenue. This busy intersection blends the dangerous combination of heavy traffic and lots of pedestrians. Thankfully, no one in the accident suffered major injuries, including a young toddler who was properly secured in a car seat. Students crossing Oakland Avenue from the library or Dinkins should exercise extreme caution and obey all pedestrian and traffic signals. The dangers present here when students cross busy streets has encouraged campus development to shift campus westward across Oakland Avenue. Reporting from Winthrop Close Up, I'm John Swanson.
After seeing the destruction of Hurricane Ivan and Jeanne, one student does something to help. Hurricane Ivan whipped through the Caribbean, and international students such as Ashley Robotham were concerned about their families. Now she is trying to help her family and countrymen recover from these devastating events. She is collecting T-shirts and other clothing items to send back home to help those who have lost everything.
So far has been overwhelming, more than I ever anticipated. I've gotten so much boxes so far, and I haven't even started really.
In Jamaica, houses and cities were under 25 feet of water due to Ivan, and this fundraiser is a way to give back to those people. Students can still donate items at the International Center in Tillman 206 and in the resident halls around campus. All items are shipped to the victims in Jamaica to cope with the aftermath of Hurricane Ivan. When we come back, reporter Alan Garmendia brings you the story on what student organizations received funding this semester.
And find out how one with the department has been encouraging students to break a leg for over 50 years. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Winthrop boasts more than 70 student organizations, most in need of funding. And as Alan Garmendia tells us, getting to that money takes some work.
Participating in a student club or organization is a hallmark of the college experience. One good example of this is the number of flyers that are posted everywhere on campus, such as this board in Kiner. So how do these groups get money to fund events and other functions? The Student Allocations Committee, operating under the Council of Student Leaders, is responsible for distributing funds. Sydney Shealy, chair of the committee, explains.
The purpose of the Student Allocations Committee is to assist clubs and organizations in funding and in having events and programs on campus that are beneficial to the entire Winthrop student body.
After filling out the proper paperwork, groups attended mandatory interview sessions with the committee. After hearing each proposal, the funding results were released. The committee allotted a total of almost $11,000, but Shealy is quick to point out that requesting money is not a one-time affair.
A club or organization is more than welcome to submit event worksheets additionally throughout the semester.
There are over 100 different clubs and organizations represented here at Winthrop, but of those, only 36 attended the initial allocations interviews. The list I'm holding in my hand here is available on the Winthrop website. Now, if you're in a group and you didn't get around to going the first time, you can still get funds for this semester by attending the makeup sessions, which will be held on October 8th in Dingett's Auditorium. For more information on that, you can log on to the Winthrop website and search under Student Allocations Committee, or you can drop by 217 Dingett's here and get all the information you need. Reporting solo from Dinkins, Alan Garmendia, Winthrop Close Up.
While many clubs are taking their checks to the banks, others have found getting their share a bit more difficult. Maurice Dykes has more on a growing controversy.
For years, the Student Allocations Committee, better known as the SAC, has provided funds for various clubs and organizations on Winthrop's campus. The committee was formed to financially assist organizations in sponsoring programs and events beneficial to the student body. This year, however, the SAC is cracking down on the type of funding it provides for organizations on campus. This decision came about after careful examination of the Allocations Committee.
Based on this, we do not fund conferences for any organization that restricted membership. This specifically applies to Greek organizations and to honor societies.
The SAC saw an increase in the amount of funding organizations requested, specifically for their national conferences. The committee feels it is the financial responsibility of the organization's membership to provide funding. This mandate directly affects Greek fraternities and sororities.
Funds for allocations. The majority of our funding was to go to conferences and such because they require us to send $200 or $300 to register for conferences.
The committee feels their decision was necessary to make sure they sponsor only events beneficial to the student body. Representatives from clubs and organizations who this mandate directly affects feels attending their national conferences helps the Winthrop student body.
By us going to these conferences, we touch bases with our national organizations, and based on what we get from our national organizations, we come up with program ideas, and we receive program ideas from them, and also ways of implementing these programs so that we can bring them back to our communities and Winthrop.
Despite the Student Allocations Committee's decision to cut some of its fundings to clubs and organizations who restrict their membership, the committee is hoping that this mandate does not disturb the working relationship between clubs and orgs on campus.
Hoping we have a positive response. Just trying to encourage them to request more things for programming that the entire student body can benefit from instead of conferences.
I'm Maurice Dykes, Winthrop Close Up News.
While many organizations are rushing for funds, John Swanson reports that other groups are rushing new members.
Young women all over campus are rushing to join the sororities of their choice. However, the process is more difficult than it would appear. Here at Winthrop, there are two Panhellenic councils that handle the rush process. The NPC and the NPHC operate on behalf of all sororities at Winthrop. Representatives are selected from each sorority, and they must work together to promote cooperation among the different chapters. ROCIs are also selected from each sorority and required to remain unaffiliated during rush events. New and aspiring members are escorted by the ROCIs to different events to choose which sorority would suit them best. The girls who are selected receive their bids when they meet at Dinkins. Rush at Winthrop is designed to be a fair and non-competitive way for all sororities to attract new members, while enhancing overall Greek life here at Winthrop. For Winthrop Close Up, I'm John Swanson.
Winthrop's theater and dance department have been showcasing their talents at Winthrop since 1954.
Raynard Gadsden reports on a celebration of 50 years of arts, entertainment, and education.
The Department of Theater and Dance at Winthrop University recently kicked off its 50th anniversary season with Vanities, directed by Assistant Professor Kurt Heinlein. The show revolves around three young women who learn that life does not always turn out as they planned.
I think the play was mainly about, they were trying to focus on things that a lot of people have dealt with, like growing up, being in high school, having really close friends, going to college with those people, and then branching out and doing your own thing. And then when you get back together, you realize that people change, and it's not always easy to accept that. So I think they tried to incorporate a little bit of comedy to make it not so sour.
Theater major Leslie Giles, who co-starred in Vanities, is looking forward to what the rest of the 50th anniversary will hold.
We have Blythe Spirit that's going to be on our main stage. It was the first show that the department ever did. We have the dance department will be doing their showcases. Next semester we have Kiss Me Kate is our musical, and then the last show will be Reckless, and we'll also have some student directed shows as well.
Students won't have to wait long. Blythe Spirit opens next month and will run from October 6th to the 10th. Professor Heinlein stated that with budget cuts threatening the existence of many theater departments, the Department of Theater and Dance at Winthrop University's 50th anniversary is an epic celebration. With such upcoming performances as Blythe Spirit, Reckless, and Kiss Me Kate, we can be sure that this will be an exciting season. Here's to 50 more. For Winthrop Close Up, this is Renard Gadsden.
When we return, a Winthrop track tradition continues to grow.
And the most magic word when it comes to cultural events? Free. And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Russell with your Eagle Sports Update. The men's and women's cross-country teams got off to a running start when they hosted their first meet of the year. Brandon Stevenson has the story.
On Saturday, the Winthrop men's and women's cross-country team hosted the Winthrop Invitational against several collegiate schools, such as Clemson, High Point, UNC Charlotte, and many more. The women compete in the 5K, which is about 3 miles. The men runs the 8K, which is approximately 5 miles. I had a chance to catch up with Gaines Bailey with his reaction on how the meet went.
No, I don't really get that nervous for races. I know a lot of people do, but everybody's just a little different. And we run the course like 3 times a week, so we're really used to it. It's not anything different to us.
The course is painted with a white line, so the runners will not get confused about which direction to run in. Also, there is the gator, in which a person will be driving to lead the pack of runners in the right direction. Winthrop fans usually carry the cowbell with them so that you can tell when a runner is coming around for that last sprint to the finish line. This is Brandon Stevenson reporting.
The men's soccer team will look to improve on its 2-6 season record on October 9th as the Eagles take on Big South Conference rival Liberty at 5 p.m. The women's team opens up a 4-game homestand starting October 1st against Liberty at 4 p.m. The Lady Eagles will then play UNC Asheville on October 6th at 7 p.m. Admission for all students is free. Volleyball is on the road, but will return home for Parents Weekend when the Eagles play Radford on October 8th at 7, then Liberty on the 9th at 2. This has been your Eagle Sports Update. I'm Aaron Russell. Now let's go to Cherie Gibbs with your Culture Events Calendar.
Hi, I am Cherie Gibbs with a look at your cultural event calendar. The foreign film series has always been popular with Winthrop students as a source of easy and, more importantly, free culture events. Tiffany Thomas has more.
Students come out to Kynard Auditorium with ID cards in hand to view a foreign film for a free culture event credit. Students get there early and wait in long lines to make sure they get their card scanned.
I came to the Foreign Film Festival for a culture event credit. I'm a senior at Winthrop and I need 13 culture events to graduate, so that's why I'm here.
Learn more about other cultures. It's real good because I'm in anthropology, and our teacher tells us a lot about different cultures, and it's good to find out more about each culture because you find out different things about people.
The foreign films are shown every Thursday night at 8 p.m. in Kynard Auditorium. You better get there early to get a good seat. For more information on free culture events, go to winthrop.edu. This is Tiffany Thomas reporting.
The Italian movie Milena is the next showing in the foreign film series on October 7th at 8 p.m. Now on to the rest of the cultural events calendar. If you like an exotic flavor to your music, then you should check out Latin pop rock musicians Javier Mendoza and David Carnes, performing at 8 p.m. on October 1st at the Dinkins ATS Cafe. Admissions is $5 with a Winthrop ID. Also performing at Dinkins ATS Cafe is jazz singer and percussionist Vinks. Vinks will take the stage at 8 p.m. on October 2nd. Admission is $5 also with a Winthrop ID. If your tastes run more to the dramatic, then you should check out the play Blythe Spirit. This show is being performed at Johnson Theater. Blythe Spirit runs from October 6th through the 9th at 8 p.m. There is a 2 p.m. matinee show on the 10th. All shows are $5 with a Winthrop ID. From drama to drag queens, Winthrop's DSU is bringing the off-Broadway group Dragapella. This beauty shop quartet will be performing alongside the musical trio Volatile Baby. The show is at Tillman Auditorium on October the 11th and is $5 with your Winthrop ID. That's your cultural events calendar, and I'm Cherie Gibbs.
Thanks, Cherie. This week marks the beginning of a new segment we like to call Word on Campus. As presidential debates heat up, Winthrop students are looking out for the issues that affect them most. Matt Tollison hit the campus to find out what topics are important to the Winthrop community.
Yes. Hearing both sides on the debate, it definitely influenced my decision.
I guess family values, how to view the economy, war, stuff like that.
Who has a better idea for what's going on? If we're going to stay over there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not Bush for staying over there. I'm not for staying over there. So if he's for that, then I can't vote for him at all.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Winthrop Close Up. Join us next week when we take a look at the new wireless internet hotspots on campus. I'm Josh Cassio.
And I'm Venetia Cabo. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time on Winthrop's Close Up.